Good evening, friends. So today this is video lesson 6 and we are going to study about structure of motor action. So whatever movement you are making in sports or a day-to-day life, like we take example of sports, you are kicking a ball, taking a shot, or playing cricket or anything, there are many actions, there are many movements involved: walking, running, bowling, so many things, right? So all these are motor actions. So in today's lecture, the learning outcomes will be, the participants will be able to know what is motor action, and number two, what is the structure of motor action, and its types and its subtypes, because there are multiple classifications of motor action in biomechanics. So I'll let you know all. Okay, so starting with the first slide of the lesson is, what is motor action and motor system? Just concentrate on the figure. Figure speaks itself. That you can see that we have brain here. This is your spinal cord and muscles you can see, and some motor behavior or some action is going on. So the picture says that everything is connected, means your muscular action is connected to your nervous system. This is the simplest form of the message of this slide, that whatever you're doing, your nervous system is involved in that, and because of this nervous system you are able to perform different actions. That's why this is the neurological term, motor action. And motor system is this, your nervous system, the whole nerves, brain, spinal cord, motor neurons, everything. So we are not going into the detail of the physiology here. I am just giving the overview so that you can connect it with that. Okay, because it is essential, you should know that how movements are happening in connection with the nervous system. So motor action involve all behaviors that involve correlation of motor response with sensory stimulation. So it simply means correlation of these two. The motor response, the action you are making, you are hitting somebody, you are bowling, you are throwing a ball, you are kicking a football. So all these are motor responses, and how they are happening, they have perfect correlation with their sensory stimulation. You stimulate yourself. So basically, if I tell you there are two types of stimulations, basically if you segregate them, one is automatically, that is called reflexation. Something comes in front of you in your eyes, you instantly make some action. So it is your reflex action. And how it is coordinated, you just see, then that sensory information through eyes goes into your brain, and your brain then sends the signal through peripheral nervous system, through motor neurons to your the action which you want to take automatically. So this is a reflex action, and it is one key type of motor action you can see in day-to-day life. And other ones, like you voluntarily stimulate yourself, that I want to pick that pen, I want to kick this ball. So these are voluntary actions, but still nervous system is involved. No matter which action you are making, whatever motor activity, whatever motor behavior you are doing, nervous system is involved. So that is the message. So all the motor actions are executed by motor system. The motor system is a set of central and peripheral structures in the nervous system that support motor functions. Simple, that we in the nervous system we have brain, spinal cord, these two make central nervous system, and the peripheral nerves make your peripheral nervous system. All these are involved to make actions, right? Any motor movement you are watching, it is happening because of this motor system which is behind that. Okay, signals from the brain control basic pattern of muscle activation during different motor actions. So overall the message is, whatever motor action you are performing, you are kicking a ball, you are throwing some shot put or javelin throwing, anything you are doing in the sports or any day-to-day life, nervous system is involved at the back end, and that is very important. If somehow you have some problem there, you can't execute motor actions. So this is the message, very clear and loud. Now coming to types of motor action. So basically we have three types. acyclic, cyclic, and the combination. So by the names it is very clear. Acyclic means the movement that doesn't repeat. There are no cycles involved. Once you do it, that's it. That is a cyclic motor action. You slap somebody. Just I'm giving the example. I'll explain you in detail. You slap somebody, done. So that is a cyclic. So what is cyclic one? Which involves repetitions. Like you are walking left, right. You walk your footsteps, right? Your arms are swinging left, right, left. So all these movements are cyclic. Again, if you want to reach somewhere, you have to repeat this cycle. That gate, gate cycle. I come to all these details later on. So this is cyclic motor action. Just an example. Now combination, which involves both of these. So I'll explain all of these one by one. So number one, acyclic motor action. The skills composed of integral function performed in one action. In one go. When you do the things in one go and that task is finished. So the task in your brain is, take the example of sports, boxing. You want to punch opponent. So that is your task in your brain. Brain sends the signal to you, to your muscles, the limbs involved, and you do the task. That's it. It's over. This is known as acyclic. Boxing. You want to kick a ball. Brain sends the signal to your muscles. Hamstrings are involved, leg muscles, and you hit the ball. That's it. So this is acyclic. Once you think of that task, execute that task, and it's over. So acyclic have a single goal, occurs only once, and it's completed itself. It's very simple. Examples: other shot putting, boxing, fencing, kicking a football. So all these are acyclic motor actions, in which you think of the action and you do it, and it's over. Okay, I think it is very clear. Now cyclic ones. Cyclic ones involves repetitions. It involves cycles, right? Cyclic motor actions are those which have a single goal. Goal is still the single. I want to reach from here to there, right? So that is my goal. Goal is one. But I have to repeat my cycles of walking or my cycles of running. So that is the thing. So cyclic motor action are those actions which have a single goal, but the action is repeated several times. Note this line. Repeated several times. This is the key difference between cyclic and acyclic. In a cyclic manner, right? The motor act involves repetitive movements. As soon as cycle of the motor act is learned, then it can be duplicated continuously for longer period of time, as long and as you can. It also depends on the capacity. If you can't run from Chandigarh to Delhi, right? So it also depends on the capacity, but you know the things. So it is a cyclic thing, right? I hope it is very clear. Each cycle is composed of distinct phases which are identical and repeated in the same succession. You are doing left, right, so it goes like that. You are cycling, you are paddling. So these cycles are repetitive and you do the action. Examples are in front of you. There's sprinting, swimming, all these are repetitive. They involve cycles. Okay, so through games it is very clear, right? Now subtypes. Now we have subtypes in this cyclic. Simple cyclic and alternate cyclic. So what is simple cyclic? So simple cyclic means the repetition of the same movement in a given sequence again and again. So what that means? Suppose you are nailing a pin with a hammer, right? You are repeatedly doing that so that it goes inside the way you want, okay, whatever the place. So you are making right hand movement again and again, striking it again and again. So left arm is not involved, your right arm is doing the same action again and again. So this is simple cycling motor action. When only one side of the body or one side of the limb, one limb is involved or one leg is involved. So that means simple cycling. On the other hand, alternate, in which both left right limbs are utilized, like walking, running, you have to use both of them. So these are the subtypes of cyclic one. The thing is same, just the difference only is in simple one you are using one side, either left arm or left hand or left leg or left foot, or in the alternate one you are using both. So this is the key difference. Now coming to the third category, which involves combination of motor actions. It is a combination of at least two independent motor actions. It involves two independent motor actions, each having different aim and not subordinate to one another. Means two independent motor actions are happening in one go. Both have different aims, but you are performing them in one task. So that is known as combination of. Example is in front of you. She is dribbling the ball as well as she is running. So two motor actions. Running means cyclic motor action, left right, she is running, and again what she is doing with the ball, she is dribbling. So dribbling the ball while running, the two motor actions are happening at once. Okay, so this is the example. Running and dribbling in the hockey, dribbling and throwing the basketball. See the second example here. He is dribbling the basketball, he is running also, and he wants, the goal is to do the goal and write that. So but it is combination of two movements. Catching and throwing is another example. You catch a ball and then throw it. The first motor action is catching and then second motor action is throwing. Both are different aims, but you are doing in one task. So that is known as combination of motor actions. Okay, I hope it is very clear now. Now subtypes of motor actions. So it has subtypes: successive combination and simultaneous combination. The words are explanatory, simple. Successive means one after one another. The combination of two independent motor actions having two different aims being executed one after the another. Means you are catching a ball and then throwing it. One by one you are doing. So that means successive. Two actions are involved, but both are happening one by one, not at once. So when they are happening one by one, so that combination of motor action is successive one. And on the other hand, when it is happening simultaneously, like dribbling the ball while you are running, motor actions, the combination of two independent motor actions having different aims, two different aims occurring simultaneously. So when the two actions, motor actions are happening simultaneously, so that means the combination is simultaneous combination. So the words are explanatory and you can understand in very, so you can just look at the pictures and you will remember that. I hope it's not so difficult, it's very simple. Just you have to remember that, keep in your mind the things. So these are all types of motor action up till now we have learned: cyclic, acyclic and combination. Now I will explain you the structure of motor action. So the one question must be coming in your mind: why we want to do the structure? Why we are learning structure? What is the importance of doing that? So I'll give you one very casual example of a movie. When you watch a movie, it has different phases. First half, then intermission, then climax, right? And some critics, when discuss that, or you yourself with friends, you discuss the movie. First half was okay. Somebody says first half was very boring. Somebody says climax wasn't very interesting. So what is these? These are structure of movie. So whenever you want to analyze something in a great depth, then you need to know the structure. You need to divide it into phases. So just like a movie, we have phases in our each motor action. 3 phases are there. So now I'm going to discuss that. I hope I have created the background in your minds very clearly. So why we are studying structure in biomechanics. So this is the way, because when we break the movement in 3 parts, then we can deeply analyze and we can pinpoint where the problem is. Sometimes problem is in the first phase, sometimes problem in the second phase, sometimes problem is in the third phase. Okay, whole action is not wrong in the athlete sometimes, or most of the times. Some phases are problematic and you have to improve that, and they are fine with that. So this is the importance of studying that. Now I'm coming to Structure of motor action. Structure of motor action is defined in the parts or phases which are functionally related to each other for performing a motor task. So simply, in simple words, it means that structure of motor action means that we have divided motor action into three phases. There are three phases. Here I am just saying the phases, but in actual there are three phases. So these are the three phases of each motor action: preparatory phase, main phase, and final phase. So this is the first half of your movie, this is the main, and this is the climax. I hope now you'll remember that. Preparatory phase, main phase, and final phase. Okay. Now what is preparatory phase? Preparatory phase is the first stage of any motor action, a part of motor action which is prior to the actual performance of the motor task. Suppose you want to ball in cricket, you want to do bowling. So movements executed before the actual act. So actual act is what in cricket? Here in this movement, you want to throw the ball to the batsman. So that is your main movement. But before that, whatever you do is your preparatory phase. What is the purpose then? To create optimum conditions in the execution of the main phase, like initial force, initial momentum. So you got it? Whatever you do before the main phase, in this action, main phase is bowling. You have to throw the ball to the batsman. That is the main action. But before that, what do? You are running, you are taking a runway, you are making some action, and then you are performing that. So all these are preparatory phase, and purpose is to create optimum conditions so that you can execute main task in an efficient way. So this is your preparatory phase. Now what is the main phase? Main phase is a part of the motor action in which actual goal of the motor action is realized. The task which is in your brain, you want to throw the ball, that is in your brain. Then earlier you have prepared for that. Now here you are executing. See, he has thrown the ball. This is the main action. So this is the main phase when you actually perform that task. Okay. Purpose of this is to perform the motor task. Purpose of earlier phase was to prepare the optimal conditions. Now optimal conditions have been created. Now you throw the ball during the main phase. And then final phase, after throwing the ball, climax. Final phase involves movements executed after the main phase. And what is the purpose? This is the purpose: to bring the body or body part to a stationary position to avoid injury. You balance yourself. Now see the action of this guy. After throwing the ball, he is trying to do some action so that he can maintain his posture, he can balance himself. The purpose is to avoid injury. This is one. Secondly, with respect to game, that is also important. In this part, you also keep in mind that I don't have to attempt a foul. So he don't want to do no ball here. So this is also in his mind, that I don't want to do the no ball because it is disadvantage for him, right? So you don't attempt a foul. That is also in your mind. So that you also keep in the final stage, that after performing the task, I have to maintain a proper position that is within the rules of the game, and I have to protect myself also. I have to balance myself also so that I don't fall. So after the execution of main phase, these are the things which happen in the final phase. So in every motor action, whatever you do in any game, whatever action you are doing, these three phases are there: pre-phase, main phase, and the final phase. Now, functional relationships between the phases. So what are the relationship between these phases? That I'll explain right now. So basically there are two kind of relations between these three phases. It's your choice whatever you take, but at the end result is same. So first of all, I will discuss the relationship of the result. Just think of a result. Ultimately result. When you are doing bowling, you want a good ball to be there so that you can tackle the cricket batsman. I am taking an example of cricket so that you can understand. So in each action is it's like that only. Result. What is the result? So first one is relationship of result. Just consider the result of the main phase. The result of the main phase depends upon preparatory phase. So it is just like exam. When you prepare good, when you have good preparation, you attempt a good paper. Now you are listening to my lesson. If you listen it very carefully, you will attempt the later assignment in a very good way. The result will be excellent if you prepare yourself in an excellent manner. So the result of the main phase depends on preparatory phase. So this is the relationship of result. Because of result, you are saying that if you want a good result, you should prepare well. So the result of the main phase depends upon the preparatory phase. Second point, the result of the main phase determines the final phase. Now, if you have performed well in the main phase, you have bowled very well. Now, the result of this main phase will determine the final phase. If you have performed this task very well, you are well prepared, then definitely your final phase will be excellent. You will balance yourself, you will avoid any foul thing. So ultimately result will be fine. So this is the relationship of result. I repeat, the result of the main phase depends upon the preparatory phase. If you prepare well, the result of the main phase will be excellent. And once the result of the main phase is excellent, then definitely final phase will be good. So this is the relationship of result. You just think of result. Second relationship is of programming. Programming means planning. Preparatory phase is programmed according to the main phase. Whatever task you want to do, you want to kick a ball. So for that you will plan in advance for the preparatory phase that I have to move my leg before on opposite side in a correct way. Then I will focus and then I will kick the ball towards the goal. So preparatory phase is programmed according to the main phase. So you will program, you will plan your preparatory phase in advance whenever you have something in your brain for the main phase. This is point 1. Point 2. Main phase is designed according to the final phase. Now second, when you are doing main phase, then again you are programming yourself. Yes, after throwing the ball, I have to balance myself so that I don't fall. Number 2, I should obey the rules of the game so that I should not attempt any foul. So these two things are going on your mind while you are performing the main phase. And what are these? These are programming for the final phase. So 2 points are there with respect to programming. Preparatory phase is programmed according to the main phase. Whenever something you want to do, you want to hit a ball, you want to do bowling, that is your task in your brain, that is your main task. So you will prepare in advance for that. So programming will be there in your brain for the preparatory phase before executing the main phase. This is point 1. And when you are performing the main phase, in that phase only, in your mind, it is running that I have to balance myself after this attempt and I should not attempt any foul. So this is the relationship of programming. I hope I have this is just to let you know how these phases are related. All 3 phases are interconnected. The main message of these 2 relations are simply is this, that all 3 phases are related. I have just shown you the theoretically, but practically you should know this thing only, that all 3 phases are interconnected. If you do well in one phase, then second connection is connected, the second phase will be fine. And if you doing well in the main phase, then your final phase will be fine. So all 3 are interrelated, and theoretically we have defined these 2 relationship of result and relationship of programming. So I hope I have made it very clear. Now I'll discuss the structures of different types of movements. Structure of acyclic motor action. Now just remember, acyclic is the task which you do once, like kicking a ball, hitting a bat and scoring something, right? So here the preparatory phase. Now I'll tell you different types of preparations which we do. So first one is your withdrawal movements. Now keep in mind I am talking of acyclic. In acyclic motor actions, the preparatory phase involves the first type of movement which we do is the withdrawal movement. The movement of the body is in the opposite direction to that of main phase. So what is that? Now if you want to hit that ball in the cricket, you will move your bat in opposite direction. Just focus on the arrow which I made. You will keep on doing like that before finally hitting the ball. So what is this? This is your withdrawal movement with your bat. Secondly, see the leg. You are moving leg in the opposite direction. You want to hit the ball this way, but you are moving your leg in the opposite direction. So this is known as withdrawal movement. Similarly, you want to hit the ball here, but you are moving your bat in the opposite direction. So this is your withdrawal movements. The movements which are performed in the preparatory phase and they are in the opposite direction of main phase. Kicking, hitting a ball, javelin throw, in all these things, acyclic motor action, you will find this. And this movement is known as withdrawal movements. So what are the functions? Why we are doing that? To increase the range of the motion. So as we can get more speed of the movement. So if you want to hit hard, then you have to move your leg. You move in a very great way so that you can hit it with great force. So it will build up your initial force to break the inertia. Inertia is the state in which you remain. That if you are in the rest, you will remain in the rest until somebody forces you. So to break that inertia, you need force, and this force is generated by these things, by withdrawal movements. To create favorable angles at the joints for maximum application of force by the muscles. In some games, you also try to make some angles so that you can target, like targeting the goal, or if you want to pass a ball to somebody, you will target again, you will make some angles. So all these are in the preparatory phase. With the help of withdrawal movements, you do that. Directing the force in the desired direction to achieve accuracy and precision. So once you plan it in a very good way, the preparation is very nice, the angle is perfect, you are very focused, then definitely when you hit the main phase, it will be a good score. So this is all about withdrawal movements. Now second in the withdrawal movements we have approach run. So it is in the bowling. In certain activities there is an approach run which is always in the direction. So now how it is different from the withdrawal movement? Here the movement is always in the direction of main phase. Now you want to bowl in this direction and you are running in the same direction, right? So this is known as approach run. The purpose is same. You want to create optimal conditions, you want to create initial force so that you can break the inertia and all that, and you want to have precision, you have to have perfect angle, perfect targeting. So purpose is same, but the way you are doing it is different. So this is your approach run, when you are doing movement in the same direction. It is always in the direction in which the movement takes place, main phase, right? Now second example of javelin throw. Now he want to throw javelin in this direction, so he is running in that direction. So again I have given two. The purpose is to gain the optimal momentum, to create the initial force. So these are almost same in the preparatory phase. Third type is turns. Sometimes you take turns to create momentum. Before releasing a sports implement, body is rotated at an increased speed. For example, hammer throw, a discus throw. In these games, she is going to rotate herself with great speed. So what she is doing in this preparatory phase, she is creating optimum momentum to have initial force. So the purpose is always almost same in all the cases, but the ways of doing it are different. Either you make turns, either you do approach run, or you do withdrawal movements. The purpose is same. Now coming to the main phase, you all know what is main phase, in which you perform the task which is in your brain. You want to throw the ball, you want to hit the ball, you want to kick a ball. So it is not a new thing, you have already learned that. Now final phase, again you know it. Movement in the final phase vary from activity to activity. Like the purpose is almost same, that to protect joints, to avoid injury, to maintain body position and equilibrium, to avoid fouls in the game and injury, to conserve energy, and to give proper line of action and accuracy. So this is your finishing phase, climax phase. It should be also you should perform it in a very good manner, very clean, so that you can avoid fouls, you can avoid injuries, and you execute the movement in a very nice way. So this was all about structure of acyclic. Now structure of cyclic, it is almost similar. Cyclic motor action are like acyclic motor action, have 3 phases. So here also we have preparatory phase, main phase, and the climax final phase. So it is almost same the way I have told you. The only difference is here we have repetitions. Third, structure of motor action, combination. Now this is little bit different, because here 2 motor actions are involved and fusion happens. Fusion between the 2 phases. So what is the fusion here? So what happens in this, for example, combination of this, we are taking like catching and throwing. So in this combination, the final phase of one action fuses with the preparatory phase of the next action. So this is the new thing which is happening in this third type of motor action, that you are basically fusing the 2 phases. You are fusing the final phase. Now first motor action is to throw the ball. I take another way. The first action is, I'll take example of this girl. She has to catch the ball, and the second action is she has to throw the ball to her again. So in order to catch the ball, the preparatory phase will be, she will make her hands so that she can catch it. She will prepare herself, and then she will catch the ball, and then she will throw it. So in catching, the 3 phases are, first of all she will prepare her hands, that is preparatory phase. Then in the main phase she will catch, and third phase she will balance herself. So these are the 3 phases, right? Second motor action, then again she will prepare for the throw, then she will throw the ball to her in the main phase, and then again balance herself, right? So these are the total 6 steps. But what will happen, there will be fusion in between. Fusion where? Final phase of the first action. The final phase of first action is catching the ball and then balance yourself. So that phase will be fused with the preparatory phase of next action. Preparatory phase of next action is throwing the ball. So just focus on these 6 points, you will understand. So the preparatory phase of first action. So what is that? Making a posture so that you can with your hand, so that you can catch the ball. So this is your preparatory phase, number 1. Number 2 is main action. Main action is what? You have to catch it. So she will catch the ball in the main phase. This is main phase of the first action. Now final phase of the first action is to balance herself, and the preparatory phase of the second action is to prepare herself for the throw. So this will be fused. So we call it as middle phase. So in middle phase she will perform 2 actions. What 2 actions? She will balance herself first after catching the ball, and second one, she will prepare again to throw the ball. So the 2 phases have been fused here, and we call it as middle phase. So in this combination we have in structure preparatory phase of first action, main phase of first action, and then comes the middle phase. And after that, main phase of second action is what? Throwing the ball. She will throw it. And final phase is again balancing herself. So the things are same, just we have fused 2 phases here. That is the only difference. I hope it is very clear now. Rest everything is same. So this is all about motor action. I hope you understood. Thank you very much.